Next on BBC Two, it's the BradWOTO stream, but first, it's time for what picture has Bradley drawn onto a piece of paper?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Time for what has Bradley added to the graffiti page? Never have the music ready because we're on a different profile, because on Sundays we play D&D. So I have to get different music every week. What do you think I added to the graffiti page? I drew it within 14 seconds, about 14 seconds ago. The clue is D&D. Nirvana smiley face logo. A little UFO. A goblin. Tiny snake Gary. Frylock. A die. An axe. Or a D20. What do you think I drew on the paper today? A D20, they said. Nope. If you look very carefully, I drew an ogre. You fools! It was an ogre. Idiots. Obviously. Yejits. Hey everyone, welcome to the Sunday edition of D&D, featuring your boy and you. We're gonna play D&D, interactive D&D. I wouldn't subscribe until the game begins if I were you, because you can use your subs towards spinning the wheel. Hi Eamon, thanks for subscribing for 39 months in a row. I'd save your subs, though I appreciate them. You can use them on Sundays to spin a wheel, if you'd like. It kills Shadow every time. Kills him. It hurts him physically. Somewhere, probably in Dubai, a Shadow the Wreck God cries a single tear every time. Probably at the top of the Wiz Khalifa in Dubai. Shadow the Wreck God cries a single tear of pure gold. There are no commands in the title. Excuse me. Wait a minute. If you don't mind. Right, look, all of you that get stressed out when there's no commands in the title, the reason I do that is so that there aren't any commands in the title with the go live message. Otherwise it says, BradWOTO has gone live with exclamation point, roll to exclamation point, spin, exclamation point. So I add them in after and when we begin the game. Okay? Calm down. Sometimes I forget, but calm down. All right? Relax. It's under control. Relax. The screaming from Lolly. The screeching at the beginning of the stream. The stream has just started, guys. Take a seat and calm down. Okay? Activating my pathological demand avoidance. You're activating my pathological demand avoidance. What was I saying? Before someone barreled their way into the admin of the stream where they don't belong. So I've got mods for. Okay. You got a sword next to your fucking name? No. Okay. That's what that's for. The mods are like, we don't know what we're doing, man. We got no idea what the fuck is going on here. Listen. Relax. Okay, Lolly? Calm down. I love like attributing how you wrote something. I love attributing the emotion of how you wrote something myself. Incorrectly, probably. Now that I'm working and got my first paycheck back, I'm here to pay my birthday tax from 4 months ago. No, don't bother. Just make Yorkie do it. Don't bother. Hey, Ratch. Ratch. Just Ratch. Ratch. Why didn't that make a noise? Ratch quietly putting a gold coin in my back pocket. That's why it's turned down. You're killing Shadow right now. Killing him. Eamon, Ratch, and Whack. Killing Shadow so badly. Starting a hype train before D&D begins. Killing him. That's 23 million seconds of this shit. Sure. Bro, that doesn't say 23 million. I'm not going to say what number that is. I haven't got the brain power for it. Ratch, come in. Ratch. Would you like to form an alliance with me? And Liam. I have crumbs in my beard. I need to shave. Look at that grey coming through, baby. Oh. It's creeping closer. Death. Ratch, me and Liam have decided that we're only playing in the noob lobbies until we can play the game. No more playing with the fucking high MMR players. No more playing with Talon. No more playing with Leah. No more playing with Tech. No more playing with Maya. Not for a week. Not until we know how to play the game. Dude, I played the game without playing with people that have fucking got 476 hours in the game. And I can kill people and I can do stuff. So if you're down later on, me and Liam are going to play in noob lobbies. Only. Noob lobbies only. If you're about. Just thought I'd let you know. Training. We're doing training tonight. Maya's got 53 hours in the game. It's been out for a week. Tech has got 40 hours in the game. It's been out for 25 minutes. Yeah, we can't play with them anymore. Yesterday, me and Ratch were playing some games and the two of us were like, we're going into the matches. We were going into the matches and we were like killing things. And we were like, oh, this is... Hey, Ratch, you know what's going on? And Ratch was like, I have no idea what's going on. And I was like, me neither, but I seem to be able to keep pace with the enemy. And then Maya and Tech joined. And it was literally just... Fight! I got deleted by one person. As soon as we started playing with them, the first thing that happened is I walked into a game and got deleted by someone. And I was like, how are they doing this much damage to me? How is it possible that they can do this much damage to me? We've been in the game for 5 minutes. You must have all the basic gear. You can't possibly have anything that is able to melt me like this. It's so confusing. It's the most confusing thing ever. Maya's in Diamond League and we're in fucking Wood. We're not even in Wood, we're in the tutorial and they won't let us get out. So, yeah, I don't know if you're busy tonight, but noob games, if you're interested. Noob games only. Until then, we're going to play some D&D. We play D&D on a Sunday. I get to not have run a D&D game last night because the Shill show was on. So I actually have brain power this morning. However, I'm taking less of my medicine than I have been. I've been reducing the amount of medicine I take just to see how I feel underneath it all. Don't know. Sven, thank you for the money, but watch your back. Watch your back, because there's a shadow nearby, lurking under the water. A shadow nearby. Liam's in. Noob League. Noob games only. If you have more than 10 hours in the game, you're not allowed to play. I think I might actually have more than 10 now, but let's find out. I have exactly 10. Noob League, 15-minute no rush, no super weapon gen. Wood League. Bronze. Bronze plays. Bronze where I belong. The best I've ever done in League of Legends was silver. That's the furthest I ever made it. And I think that was top laning. It wasn't even mid, where honestly I'm way better at mid. And I wish that I had friends to play League of Legends with instead of fucking Deadlock. But I also don't ever want to play League of Legends again. You know? Kind of this thing of where somewhere deep down in my heart I still love League, but really I'm trash and it's hard and it's horrible, and why would anyone play it? And I have such a strained relationship with that game because I want to play it so much, but it is just absolutely awful to play. I also want to play Star Wars. Outlaws. I'm ready for it. I still want to play Black Wukong. I want to play Spider-Man. I want to finish Final Fantasy XVI. I'm almost ready to finish Final Fantasy VII. I haven't been able to play it because there is a severe and very, very high chance that I will take my own life. I've got to be very careful when I play that game. It's like watching The Leftovers. You have to be in the best mental health state to justify it. Whack, have you played Final Fantasy XVI yet? Because it comes out on PC soon. I may or may not be playing it. I may or may not have friends at Square Enix now. And they may or may not be supplying me with a little Final Fantasy through line. A little taste. A little taster. I haven't played any of the PS5 stuff. It's coming. It's soon. It's like within weeks. Within weeks. Prepare your asshole. I wonder if he'll enjoy 16. Have you seen much of it? The good thing about Final Fantasy 16 for people who haven't played it is that it's one of the best games you'll ever play, and it's one of the most beautiful games you'll ever see. That game is so fucking good looking, but no one played it. I played it on stream and no one watched it. It's the best game you'll ever see. It's fucking unreal. But no one will watch it. Because everyone sucks. Everyone sucks. The worst thing about getting older, really, is that you slowly realise that everyone sucks and you're outnumbered. Everyone sucks, dude. You're just fucking... You're like, what the fuck? Everyone sucks? What is this? What about that guy? Yeah, he sucks. That woman over there, I've known her for 18 years. She's gonna fuck you up and betray you. She sucks. Really? Yeah. Also, your parents, most of your family, suck. The people who that played Final Fantasy, which said that they were going to watch you play Final Fantasy 16 on stream and then didn't show up. They suck. Everyone sucks. It should be the most viewed game of all time. So anyway, tune in to Wax Steven, who will be playing Final Fantasy 16 on release on his second channel, wakujaku.com. twitch.tv/wakujaku.com. Hi everybody, welcome to twitch.tv, https://www.twitch.tv/wakujaku.com. Do you know how many people absolutely hate Final Fantasy 16? Wack will probably be one of them because he's a contrarian. I don't know why you would hate that game. I can't imagine why. Well, because the internet. If I will never ever, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I will never go. I don't trust anyone online, and I don't look up opinions of stuff. Sometimes I will, just out of curiosity, but very rarely do I do it because it's just like, oh, everyone's awful. Wait a minute. Everyone sucks? I don't know many true Final Fantasy fans who dislike it, though. Most of the people that I know that like Final Fantasy, that are actually like just generally old school Final Fantasy fans, not these weird flame war redditors that have been here forever crying over every Final Fantasy game since 1991. But the, you know, just general Final Fantasy fans were like, oh, this is so nice to play. Personally, I think it's a really great fucking like progression game. I'll stream it if someone buys it for me, but I might just be at Brad's eating gruel levels of broke. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. A Final Fantasy 16 fundraiser for Wax Steven, please. We'll have to do one. Just do one the day before it drops on your channel, where you show up in a dress. If you put on a dress, you only need to stream for an hour. You'll raise, what is it, $60? How much are games in dollars? We just put you in a dress. Everything comes at a price. Equal exchange. Alright, well.
Hey, Brad. Bradley.
Yeah?
No one gives a shit.
Yeah, you guys just don't speak to me anymore, do you? Alright, well, what is this intro video? It's not the right one, is it? This one.
It's under a tiny world will take a person only a matter of weeks to travel from one side to the other. Once a lush, verdant planet, Rexander's rain had stopped falling. What had stopped it? And how? Was this something to do with the warring empires? Was it a new unknown threat? Or perhaps it was the new major tech and steam-powered technology from the Hachstan matriarchy or Kosusiv Reinti. Long ago, the world was treated as an experiment by the gods. They were trying to discover the most powerful species they could make. Just a fun game for them became our world as we know it, in the finals of the Kraven trials. Humans faced off against Noms. The humans won. In a final test, the gods pitted the humans against the dragons. The dragons tore the world apart, leaving magic unstable, destroying any semblance of society. Now, after 1,000 years, the Mans have rebuilt. Two great kingdoms, constantly at war, and between them, the last forest. The only place of green in our dying world. And inside that forest, the last Nom. My name is Gary, and this is my story.
We return to the mines under the desert. Hidden away for centuries. The desolate mine of Axum. An ancient place. Once a thriving source of rare gems. Operated by a long-forgotten empire known as the Therosians. Located deep within a desolate desert. The mine... Wait, ruined it. Can you fucking wait, Bew? Let me start again. From the top. The desolate mine back soon. Each time he becomes more microwaved. Each time it's interrupted. Was once a thriving source of rare gems. Operated by a long forgotten empire known as the Therosians. Located deep within a desolate mine, the mine was abandoned centuries ago when the empire fell. Over time... We return to the desolate mine of Axum. Once a thriving source of rare... It's actually going to get difficult to do. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. We return to the desolate mine of Axon. Last time, you entered the temple. You went down the steps of the. You sort of discovered that there was this underground ancient mine known as the desolate mine of Axon. A place that we procedurally generated. On a website. The place was a mine built by a foreign empire located deep within a desert, occupied by a demon who is a Croatoa who controls demonic ogres. The desolate mine of Axon was then created, and you stepped into the sort of the underground, the entrance way and stuff. You walked over towards where the first chamber was, which was a collapsed entranceway. You figured out a way through it essentially by asking Smasher, your new party member, the giant hench, Kenku, party member, Paladin, to lift the boulders out of the way. You managed to get in there. However, once you were inside, it started to fill with sand in this first, kind of the second chamber starts filling with sand. These huge statues with sort of ancient looking deities of the Therosian Empire were pouring sand out of their mouths and filling the chamber slowly. On the ground there was a sort of a puzzle, a mosaic of a sun with rays extending outwards, and you essentially failed to figure out what the puzzle was, how the puzzle worked, what it did, and you ended up filling the entire room with sand. Gary transformed into a snake, burrowed down, rescued Seg, your other party member, where is his artwork? There it is, right, the first piece of artwork. The kobold, who wears a sort of skull like a marowak. You rescued Seg, went back in to save Smasher, but Smasher looked as if they were about to die. Smasher, by pure Deus Ex Machina, managed to come back to life. There are microtransactions in this game that may or may not save dying party members or main characters. Honestly, has happened so many times. This would have been a brutal campaign if not. Microtransactions are in the form of subs. It is September, so you get money off of those subs at the moment, but they go towards the spin wheel down here. Every 10 subs, we spin that wheel up there. At the moment, the spin wheel has a bunch of different things on it. It might be an encounter, it might be potions, it might be a boss battle, it might teleport you somewhere random, it might give you XP, it might give you quad vantage, it might summon a merchant. But at the moment, there are 3 additional things. A dungeon effect may happen. While you're in this dungeon, there are sort of random things that could possibly happen in the dungeon itself while you're exploring it, and they only appear while you're in this dungeon if you land on the dungeon effect wheel spin. There's a higher chance for that to happen. After sort of saving Smasher, dealing with Seg and figuring out what you want to do next, Gary ate some of the sand, which was the answer, shrinking him down to a tiny size and allowing him, Seg, and Smasher to swim down through the cracks of the mosaic and fall down into the 3rd chamber. However, Mikey, what's up, my friend? Thank you for the resub. Clay Kite, Lux, Fruit Punch, Theory, Bubu, Sven, thank you for the subs. Let's continue with our game here. This is a fully interactive D&D game in a procedurally generated world where I don't come in with anything prepared. We just go. I don't prepare much. I'll maybe prepare a little thing here and there, but generally it's all entirely procedurally generated. We generated the entire world, the campaign, the characters, the dungeons, the story. Everything is being generated as we play. It's completely randomized. And also there are microtransactions. If you want to spin that wheel, you can. Amity, thank you for the 43 monther. The 3 very small characters slip down into the next chamber. Sand pouring through the ceiling into this underground chamber as the 3 of them land. There is a sound that begins to reverberate hollow through this chamber in particular. And the place looks huge to the small forms of our 3 characters, Gary, Smasher, and Seg, as they land on this pile of building sand, more sand kind of falling down. The 3 of them look up, blinking, and notice that storming around this room is a huge ogre. But this is no regular ogre. This is a demonically enhanced ogre, a hulking brute, much more dangerous than a regular ogre, twisted by demonic energy. Its skin is cracked and glowing with a sort of inner fire. Its eyes burn with a malevolent red light as it looks about the room. A sort of a a glow given to the darkness of this room from the eyes of this creature and from the fire burning from underneath its cracked skin. This ogre is not just stronger and tougher than its kin, it is also imbued with demonic abilities. Suddenly, Smasher, Seg, and Gary grow back to their usual sizes. Gary in his normal gnomish form, Smasher in her Kenku Paladin form, and Seg. Not the largest of beings exactly, but large enough. Scurrying behind a broken plinth, Gary butts up to the back of it. Smasher and Seg move quietly up to this plinth, their backs to it. They wait a moment to see if the ogre has recognized that they're there. It doesn't seem like he has yet. Gary puts one set of his multiple arms up on the edge of the plinth, his pink eyes peering over the top as this ogre starts moving around the room. The three of you currently kind of hidden from the ogre as we begin the first What Does Gary Do? Your character is Gary, the druid gnome. What would you like him to do? We are going to spin the wheel, of course. Actually, you have a wheel spin from last week as well, so we've got 2 wheel spins coming up. Do you ask the ogre, are you a god? Any other options? Shout. Get out of my mind. Chode, thank you so much for the subs. How you doing, my friend? Send Seg to a flanking position. Take a swig of water. We must be thirsty after eating sand. Look for the exit out of the room. Seduce the ogre. Pick up some of that shrinking sand. No, Beth, you don't get to do that. Wild shape into solid snake. Okay. The choice is yours. What does Gary do here? Hiding behind a plinth. The demonic ogre stomping around. Significantly larger than Gary, Seg, and even Smasher, who's a big but still relatively small form as a Kenku. The choice is yours. You can vote by typing the number you want next to the options given to you here, the 8 options in the chat room. This only works on Twitch if you're watching on YouTube. My apologies. Honestly, a miracle we've got this thing working every Sunday anyway. What does Gary do in this situation? And a wild shape into solid snake. Okay. Gary has presumably got 1 wild shape left. He has 2 left. Does he really? The ogre hasn't seen you. I said it 5 times. Didn't you use one to turn into a snake? Did you get a full heal? Shazalenko requested that the subs she gifted be counted. I'll allow it. I don't know how many it was or when it happened. 13 hours ago. I'll allow it. Only Shazalenko has this power. Right, no wild shapes left. Okay, the first thing that happens here is that Gary begins to he stretches and shifts, growing slightly taller. His body, the sort of purplish skin, turning into a grey, leathery, sneaking suit. A bandana forming around his head. His eyes still pink but filled with fox dye. His bag and weapons turning into a single Mark II SOCOM. What was it? CR2 solid snake is what he turns into. Mark 23 SOCOM pistol. Gary is now a CR2 solid snake. He looks for all intents and purposes like a grotesque version of Solid Snake. With 6 arms. +4 to acrobatics, stealth and survival. A 19 in dex. A SOCOM weapon, which does 1d6 piercing and can put enemies into a chokehold. The target is grappled. Until this grapple ends, the creature is restrained and Solid Snake can't constrict another target. We should probably add right now before you guys choose to do this. This has to be medium or smaller targets. Because you're going to try and chokehold this thing and it's just not going to work. Okay. Now, the first wheel spin of the day will begin. This was one from last week. You get a magic item. Gary is now Solid Snake. Let's see here. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rolling from table 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a D100 to determine what you win. 51. You get a potion of Storm Giant Strength. That just magically appears in Gary's pocket. A potion of Storm Giant Strength. When you drink this potion, your strength score changes to 29 for 1 hour. The potion has no effect on you if your strength is equal to or greater than that score. The potion's transparent liquid is a floating silver fingernail from a giant of the appropriate type. Storm. Potion of Storm Giant. Okay, you have a potion in your pocket. Next wheel spin. This one's from Shazalenko. Resistance. This is a D13. Ooh, thunder. Okay, you currently have resistance to thunder. Okay, don't forget it. May be important. It may come in handy. And the third wheel spin from the subs today. Fucking straight up 25% XP. This could be massive. Almost certainly. So what is 25% of 6,500 is 1,625 XP. 4660 plus 1625. Oof, just under. You need 6,500 to level up. You have 6,285 XP currently. That's huge. That one was huge. Okay. Very close to level 5. Within the belly of this ogre sits the required amount of XP to level up, probably. Awaiting you as it stomps around in this chamber. Gary transforms into a grotesque, twisted version of Solid Snake. From a helicopter, Iroquois Pliskin says, "No, that is not Solid Snake." Okay, well, you've transformed into Solid Snake, but what does Gary do now? I'll put the little... Gary is Solid Snake, CR2. But what does he do now? The choice is yours. Do we need to get past the ogre? Yeah, the room as it looks from where you're stood appears to be a sort of ancient ruin that continues this mine. There is an exit to the south of the room and an exit to the east of the room. You are currently on the west of the room, trapped behind where the ogre is storming up and down. Use the box to sneak up to ogre. Seduce. Seg and Gary sneak to flank the ogre. Aim for the head. Peek around corner. Spot ogre's weaknesses. Spots. Are its eyes easy to hit? Want so much from one thing. Scare the ogre. Drink the new potion and sweep his legs so he falls the stairs down. That's what it says. Befriend ogre through stories of shared suffering. These are the options. What does Gary do? Choice is yours. 1 through 8. Use the box to sneak up to him. Seduce him. Have Seg and Gary sneak to flank the ogre. Aim for the head with the SOCOM pistol. Peek around the corner. Spot ogre's weaknesses. Are its eyes easy to hit? Scare the ogre. Drink the new potion and sweep his legs so he falls the stairs down. Befriend ogre through stories of shared suffering. What does Gary do? The ogre stomping up and down. Boom, boom, boom. The red eyes glowing, kind of like leaving a little searchlight of red wherever it's staring. The flames underneath its skin lighting up part of this chamber. demonically enhanced by the demon somewhere within this ancient mine. Seg and Gary sneak to flank the ogre. Okay. Now you're wanting to have Seg on one side and Gary on the other. Is that what you mean? Okay. Then let's start rolling. Gary needs to make a stealth check. He has a +10 to this roll. We can take the first roll today. Exclamation point roll d20. And I'll have Seg roll a stealth check as well. He does not have a stealth, so it's just a dex. Seg has rolled a 22. You have rolled a 4 +10, which is a 14. Let me look up the ogre's stats. Okay. Gary looks at Seg. Does a little Black Ops signal. Seg nods, skittering behind where the ogre is stepping. He sneaks behind the ogre. Gary waits for his chance, sneaking out. He sneaks in front of the ogre. The ogre's huge form. He's looking forward. His eyes, a beam of light out from them, does not see this sort of solid snake version of Gary just between his legs. Seg behind him. What does Gary do? Scream Smasher now. Use new potion to grapple legs. Surprise attack by Gary and Seg on the legs. Tickle the ogre. Ask to join you to stop. Throw a bottle to distract the ogre and run down the stairs and out to the next chamber. Cut the ogre's leg tendons. Insult the ogre. CQC. The choice is yours. What does Gary do? Scream Smasher now. Use the new potion to grapple the legs. Surprise attack by Gary and Seg on the legs. Tickle the ogre. Ask him to join you to make you stop. Throw a bottle to distract the ogre and run down the stairs and out to the next chamber. Cut the ogre's leg tendons. Insult the ogre. Straight up do some CQC. The ogre is stomping around. Gary is in a blind spot underneath his nose. And the choice is yours. What would you like Gary to do next? Surprise, motherfucker. It is looking like that's what it will be. Let me just prepare this one thing. Surprise attack by Gary and Seg on the legs is the plan here. Margie, thank you for the gift subs. 30% off gift subs. 20% off? 25% off. Depending on how many you get, I think. That's just basically one free wheel spin. With every sub. That's how that math works out. Okay. A surprise attack. Solid Snake Seg, Solid Snake Gary and Seg. Seg pulls out a blade. Solid Snake Gary has a pistol that he aims at the leg. It is time to roll initiative. Exclamation point roll d20 in the chat. You have a +1 to your initiative. Let's roll for Seg. A 5. Let's roll for Smasher. An 18. And let's roll for the demon ogre. A 7. We take the second roll from now on so that we flush out all the old dead rolls. Gary. What is he gonna get? A 4 again. +1. Actually, does he get Snake's initiative? +4. So +6 to his initiative. So that's a 10. Oh shit, but first. The wheel is spun from Goblin, Humagi and the Iron Chode. You get a potion. Ooh. Okay. A potion appears, a chunky liquid that is ivory and green in colour. The container is a sturdy pod that needs to be bitten into. The taste is very likely to be bitter. It appears in Gary's hands. Do you drink the potion? The choice is yours. That's the wrong button. The choice is yours. Yes. Appearing in his hand, just as this creature looks down and sees him, Gary bites into the potion. And then Gary begins to transform again. The solid snake form shifting, changing. Gary has been turned into a toad. For 1d4 days. 3 fucking days. Wow, there's only a giant toad. A frog? A frog. Gary turns into a frog. Frog Gary. 1 HP on Frog Gary. Have a look at what frogs can do. A frog can breathe air and water. A frog's long jump is up to 10 feet and its high jump is 5 feet, with or without a running start. 20 feet of speed. 20 feet of swim movement, 1 strength, 13 dex, 8 con, 1 in, 8 whiz, 3 charisma, no actions. Shadow's like, uh-oh. It is now Smasher's turn. Smasher, witnessing all of this, sees the two of them sneak up in front of this thing. They bring out blades. They're about to do a surprise attack. What would Smasher do in this situation? Spin the wheel is what she would do. It's time. Thank you, Chen. Thank you, Shadow. You get a vulnerability as a frog. To lightning damage. A cackle from within the halls of this place. A demonic presence. Chode says no. A curse.
You fools. You should never have come here.
You know what? These D20 curses. Roll a D20. I'll determine the table. 1d4. The fourth table of curses. 1, 2, 3, 4 curses here. You will determine what you are cursed with here in this place. Was that 19? From the Chode? A 19. Oh, this is the longest. The cursed immediately and irrevocably falls in love with the next NPC of the appropriate type they meet. Resisting this infatuation will result in a negative level each week, as the cursed finds they cannot eat or sleep or enjoy the activities they once did. The only cure for this malady is the pursuit and marriage of the NPC. The cursed will always be very happy in this marriage and unwilling to leave it, no matter how horrible and demanding the referee makes the spouse. The referee is encouraged to make the spouse very horrible and demanding. I mean, it's the ogre. It's the ogre, for sure. And you know this to be true. Frog Gary looks up at this enormous ogre, which is in slow-mo bringing his huge foot up to crush Frog Gary. Gary's eyes cartoonishly boom turn into little pink love hearts. Meanwhile, I'm gonna write the effects of that curse down somewhere. We may need it. Meanwhile, it's Smasher's turn. Smasher sees Gary turn into a frog and says, "Well, I suppose I better hop into battle." And she leaps. I think she can rush all the way over. Rushes over here. Pulls the sword from scabbard. And runs forward, leaping over the plinth. Uses her action to dash It is now Frog Gary's turn. A reminder, Frog Gary can do nothing, basically. Frog Gary can jump, can leap. Frog Gary is also in love with the ogre in front of him. What does Frog Gary do? Seduce. Disengage. Leap on the ogre's head. Jump into the ogre's mouth. Jump to the ogre's lips and kiss them. Jump in front of Seg to protect the ogre. Get engaged. Ribbit. The choice is yours. Shadow's desperately trying to save you because he knows that the campaign is 1 HP away from being over. If you die, the campaign's over, by the way. Don't think that I'm going to save you without any sort of fucking microtransaction Deus Ex Machina roll, some sort of bullshit. I'm not going to pluck you out of this. I will just start a new campaign next week. You have no idea how neutral I am going into this every week. You guys are 1 HP away. This ogre is about to crush you. And Shadow is like... It's the consequences of your actions. The consequences of the microtransactions is what it is. Let the past die. That was a good Stannis impression. I'm watching a show called Chaos at the moment, which has been very fun. I started watching it yesterday and I watched loads of episodes of it. And it's got Stannis Baratheon in it. Stannis the Manus himself. Another wheel spin. Jump to the ogre's lips and kiss them. Jump to the ogre's lips. And kiss them. Have I got a frog jumping sound? I feel like I have, but... I mean, it's perfect. Thank you. Give me that one. We need the frog jump sound, don't we? Like, absolutely cannot be playing this. By the way, he's saying ogre in this song. He goes, ogre. In case you wonder what this piece of music was. Gary leaps upwards. The huge lips of the ogre curling back. One of his huge... a tusk coming up out of his bottom lip. His red eyes glaring at small frog Gary. The tiny frog form of Gary leaping upwards. This is when we spin the wheel. What's it gonna be? It's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. Encounter generator. Random encounter generator. God damn it. Why does Don John have to be down today? Okay. Here's what we do. ChatGPT. Provide me with an encounter table. of something that can be found in a desert, mine. Let's go D6 table. As Gary leaps into the air. Boing. You know what? Let's have you roll me an acrobatics check, I guess. Which would be a +1 in your frog form. And I'm going to roll a d6 to determine what appears in this fucking place. Fucking spider. Coming down from the ceiling. Lowering itself down. It was, you know what, I think it was in fact lowering itself down from the ceiling. About to jump on Smasher when she leapt from the area, appearing here. A wolf spider. Going on initiative 22. A 17 for the leap? No. Next one. Keep rolling. You have a +1 to this leap. As Gary launches himself at the demonic ogre's lips to give him a kiss. Fully in love. Cursed by the spell wind. The cackle of a demon in the further in. A 4 +1 is a 5. I don't think it's a great leap. As he jumps upwards, the ogre just grabs him. Small pink-eyed frog Gary. You know what? Let's see if we can give it pink eyes. Is grabbed by the ogre. And the enormous fist of this ogre just easily swipes Gary out of the air. As a toad might to a fly. As a toad might to a fly, he is whipped out of the air. Oh my god, this artwork. This is what small toad Gary looks like. And that, I think, is when the ogre eats Gary. Smasher screams. Seg screams. This ogre is filled with demonic fire. I'll let you make a Constitution saving throw, I think. To see if you can survive for 1 round in here. You have a -1 to your Constitution. Start rolling. Exclamation point. Roll D20. Now I'm going to look up. I'm going to look up how that whole swallowing mechanic works. Is it an 8? A 9? Okay. Can a Remoraz eat you? I think it can. Does it have a swallow thing? One of them does. What monsters have a swallow thing? Like a toad, a giant toad. Swallow. The Remoraz makes a bite attack against a medium creature. It's grappling. While swallowed, the creature is blinded and restrained. It has a total cover against attacks, and it takes 6d6 acid at the start of each of the Remoraz's turns. Okay, you know what? I think that buys you a turn. On the start of the ogre's next turn, Frog Gary will take 6d6 fire damage. Oh, which is right now. That was on Frog Gary's turn. No, it wasn't. That was the Demonic Ogre's turn, was to eat Gary. Demonic Ogre is then going to use its turn. As it turns around, it sees Smasher running towards him, and I think he's going to attack Smasher. He's got 2 attacks here. An attack with a great club on Smasher. A 10 is a miss. This huge great club. Smasher slides to the ground, sparks lifting up from the plate mail that she's wearing as she ducks underneath this great club. A spin from Gabe. You get a magic item. Roll me. Oh no. Where was my item table? The D9, wasn't it? I think. Yeah. 1D9. 5 again. 1D100. 74. You get a 9th level spell scroll. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A D10 here. Another wheel spin. An 8. Spin for the enemy. You get a scroll of polymorph. Appearing in Gary's pocket is a scroll of true polymorph. Now we spin for the enemy. Would it be good or bad? Something good for the enemy. I think something good for the enemy here would be that he gets... I think it would be that he gets to attack again. Because he missed the strike. On Smasher. A 22. He hits Smasher. Boom. Gary also gets another vulnerability. A 7. Gary is vulnerable to necrotic damage. So he's currently vulnerable to necrotic damage and lightning damage and resistant to thunder. Don't forget, because I will. Smasher takes 9 damage from being smacked with this great club. Boom. The ogre also spies Seg. And he is going to attempt to strike Seg with this demonic burst. He has disadvantage on this. Or does he? No, he doesn't. An 11, that's going to miss Seg, isn't it? Seg's AC is about 409. 18. As he bursts into flame. This flame running down his arm and launching towards where Seg is. Seg ducks out of the way. Flame going over his head. It is now Seg's turn. I think it's fair to give you the option. What does Seg do? Attack being the first option. Any other creative options? Thank you for the subs, by the way. I know you're trying to save Gary with all your heart. BB Laser Gun, Chode, Nayana, FF Chen, Shadow, Gabe. Desperate to try and save Gary right now. The fates, they disagree from within the dungeon. The demon that currently resides here laughs at you. Rope around ankles, trip ogre. Try to make the ogre vomit. Gut punch, so Gary is spat out. Jump into ogre mouth. Grab Gary. Heimlich to make the ogre puke. Seduce the ogre. Cut out Gary using medical precision. What does Seg do? Thank you, Shadow. On Seg's turn. Can you save? Frog Gary. Gut punch, so Gary is spat out. Okay. It's time. Seg needs to make an. I think it's only fair to make Seg do some sort of athletics-based check here, rather than it being an unarmed strike. Actually, we'll give him an unarmed strike, which is +5. Jesus. And another wheel spin. Get an item. I don't know if it's going to do enough for you here. Roll me a d20, chat. You get a random item. Non-magical, just an item. I mean, to be fair, some of these items for some reason are magical. I don't know why. But let's see what you get. Keep rolling, we take the next roll. Let's roll Seg's attack roll. He's got a 23, he's going to hit. Keep rolling, chat. Keep rolling. What item do you get? Oh, this is the wrong table. I've opened the wrong thing. A 6. A bracelet carved from a light wood. If attuned to, the wearer no longer requires water to live. A magic item in this non... Oh no. Fine clothes. What you actually get was fine clothes. Gary has a set of fine clothes. I had the wrong table up again. A set of fine clothes. Okay, I'm going to let you roll Seg's athletics check here. He has a -2 to athletics. Go. I think it's only fair I let you do it. Not that 14, so the next one that comes through. A 12 -2 is a 10. Seg brings his arm back. Boom! It's like punching a wall. The huge form of the ogre looks down at Seg. Seg looks up. Oh, fucking hell. Where goes nothing? Action surge. Let's see if he hits. He has pack tactics. A 23 again. Roll me another strength check, guys. And do better than a 10 this time. You have a -2 to strength to try and punch Gary out of the ogre's stomach. This is Seg's action surge. Not that 16. The next roll. The next roll. A 6 -2 of 4. Boom! Seg looks at his hand. All of his fingers are broken. The ogre speaks in the black speech or whatever. Okay. That's Seg's turn. It's now the wolf spider, who has 40 feet of movement. So he can get to Smasher. These enormous legs come rushing over to Smasher. Gonna try and bite Smasher. On a 20, Smasher's AC is a 16. So that's gonna hit. 6 damage to Smasher as it bites into Smasher's legs. Smasher needs to make a Constitution saving throw or take poison damage. A 5 is going to be a fail. The what speech? Isn't it called the black speech in fucking Lord of the Rings? So 2d6. Another 11 damage for Smasher, poison damage. And if the poison reduces them to 0, they're stable and they get to they get taken away. Okay, that's a wheel spin, isn't it? From the Chode. I'll allow it. Chode and Anonymous. Spin for the companion. Okay, we're going to spin for Seg, or 1 is Seg, 2 is Smasher. We're going to spin for Smasher. Let's see. Resistance. I don't know how useful that's going to be right now, but Smasher now has resistance to lightning damage. Okay? I don't know if it's going to do anything, but remember, Smasher has resistance to lightning damage, plus all the resistances that Gary currently has. The wolf spider is biting on Smasher's leg. It's Smasher's turn. I guess I'll ask you. What does Smasher do? Straight up attack the ogre, attack spider are the options. Gut punch. Rigged. Divine smash guts. Thank you, Insta Rage. Slice ogre's balls so it pukes. Make the spider fight the ogre. Alright. Attack the ogre, attack the spider, gut punch the ogre, divine smash guts, slice the ogre's balls so it pukes, make the spider fight the ogre are your options. Let's see. Okay, so there's a +6, 7, 8. A divine smash to the guts. Okay, well, that actually changes things. Let's see. So, first of all, Smasher needs to strike with the longsword. A 17. The ogre's AC is 14. Pump in a divine smash. 1d8 plus 6. Well, no, hang on. Let me just check the damage on this. Plus 2d8. It's a lot of damage. We're going to pump in a divine favor as well. What was this one? This is a bonus action. I think we are. Divine favor will add an extra d4. 1. So this is going to be 25 damage to the ogre. I'm going to say, since you're specifically aiming for the stomach here, roll me a d20. If you get a 20, it will Heimlich maneuver. Boom. Spit the frog out. As you deal 25 damage. But it is slashing damage and radiant damage, as opposed to the bludgeoning damage that I was expecting. Got to get a d20 on this next roll. Keep going. I mean, get a natural 20. An 8 from Nyanar. Everyone remember that Nyanar has failed you here. There is a... This sword strikes at this ogre. Magic radiant light curling over this sword. As Smasher brings this thing round, a huge spider bites into Smasher's leg and she just shrugs it off. This sword lighting up, and then she strikes this ogre. This divine power washes backwards, sand lifting up behind where she smacks this thing and deals 25 damage to it. This ogre has 85 health. 25 is not a significant amount of damage to this guy. Unfortunately, it just begins screaming. Inside the ogre, Tiny Gary is moving down the esophagus when there's a He sees a blade cut through into the stomach and then cut out again as his pink eyes widen. Okay, wheel spin time. Another wolf spider appears, lowering itself down behind Seg. The second wolf spider. Seg says, "We gotta do something, Smasher." Oh, what the fuck is that? This enormous spider. Oh, fucking hate spiders. That's the end of Smasher's turn. It's now Frog Gary's turn. This could be it, guys. What does Frog Gary do? In the esophagus of this ogre, being pushed down, the flames of the stomach below him, the entire insides of this ogre are on fire. The cave from Goblin Slayer. Grab the blade. Brave the blade. Inhale to expand frog body, making room for escape. Try to get out through the hole Smasher made. Spread his frog legs outwards to make the ogre choke. True polymorph into an ogre. Ask Sting to bite the ogre's tongue. Use frog sticky tongue to attach himself to the throat, staying above fire. Hide in the bag of holding. Guys, this is it. What does Frog Gary do? The choice is yours. Grab the blade. Inhale to expand frog body, making room for escape. Try to get out through the hole Smasher made. Spread his frog legs outwards to make the ogre choke. True polymorph into an ogre. Ask Sting to bite the ogre's tongue. Use frog sticky tongue to attach himself to the throat, staying above the fire. Okay. The plan is to true polymorph into an ogre. Presumably trying to do the Ant-Man Thanos ending that we all wanted. The polymorph spell states the target's gear melds into the new form and the creature can't activate, use, wield, or otherwise benefit from any of its equipment. Gary can't use any of this stuff. He's a frog. He hasn't got any of this. He's just a frog. He's just a frog with pink eyes. All of his stuff is just melded into his body. I'm going to let you off. Just this once. And let you pick something else to do. Hide in the bag. You don't have a bag of holding. You don't have a scroll. You don't have any of your stuff. You got nothing. The scroll appeared after he became a frog? Okay, the scroll's on the ground away from you. Rolling down the steps. What's he gonna do? He's a frog. He's holding a giant fucking scroll and he got eaten. Come on. Brad, why? What do you mean, why? What do you fucking... You guys, you gotta be better. You gotta be better. You can't just be like, Brad, we want to win. Otherwise, why are we rolling any dice? Why are we doing any D&D? You can't just be, we want to win. You can't just write, we want to win D&D. The worst players ever. Climb out of the ogre's mouth. Pray to death. Not win, just not die. Get the fuck out of here. It's D&D, baby. Welcome to D&D. Roll to win the dice. Imagine the first session of D&D you showed up to. Your DM puts out the whole stuff, opens his DM screen. You got all your books, your character sheets, and he just says, roll a dice to see if you win. And then you roll a dice. You win. And then he just packs up all his stuff and leaves. Is that what you want? You guys save scummers. The save scummers is what you are. Do something. Try to get out through the hole Smasher made. Now that's D&D, baby. Now we're playing. Okay. Now what kind of check is that? I think it's probably an acrobatics check. I'm going to give you an acrobatics check for this. Because you've got to avoid the flames. It's a +1 to your dexterity. Start rolling. For your life. We take the second roll. Unless you do something pure magic right now. Thank God it isn't that 2. Next roll. Oh, it's a 4. You have a +1 to that, so that's a 5. I can't justify it's a 5 DC. There are flames he has to avoid. He's in an esophagus. He's got to go down an esophageal pipe, go into a pit of flame, and then worm his way out of where the hole is. We see him, Lemmywinks style, moving down through the thing. He gets to where the hole has been made that Smasher made with the sword. The sword slicing outwards creates this hole. Gary moves towards it, his tiny frog arms peeling at the hole in the stomach. And then at the end of Gary's turn, it becomes the ogre's turn. And Frog Gary takes 6d6 fire damage. Is he resistant to fire? Doesn't matter, because he's got 1 HP. He takes fucking 23. Gary climbing through, attempting to climb through. Does he have weakness? No, it wasn't fire, it was thunder. Attempting to climb through the hole in the stomach of the ogre. Smasher on the outside, all slow motion. Bringing the sword in for another strike. Seg battling off a wolf spider that's landed on him. The ogre bashing his chest, Kong style. As Gary attempts to break through. From the wound in the stomach of the thing, you see a little frog hand reach out before turning into ash. The flames inside the ogre Seg and Smasher continue to fight with the ogre as our scene dims to darkness. A very small little frog with a staff and pink eyes appears before a campfire. On the other side of the campfire, a robed individual with a skull for a face. Appears before Gary. There is a moment where the form of Gary sitting in front of this fire hops about a couple times. Hopping up and down. The form in front of Gary that we recognize as Death. A skeletal figure sitting in nothing more than a black robe. A scythe on the end of a long staff. Clicks its fingers. And Gary transforms back into his gnomish form. The Gary as we know him to look. Classic Gary. 2 pink eyes, 2 arms. Normal nose. Ears, pink skin. Mustard yellow hair. Says, "Oh, shite. I've died again, haven't I?" In front of Gary is the form of Death. Death says,
Yes. You have died again.
Alright, look. What's it gonna take? Send me back. Seg and Smasher, they're still fighting.
Is that why you want to go back? To see Seg and Smasher?
Aye. Come on. Send me back one last time. I've got work to do. I'm gonna restore balance.
That's why you want to go back, is it?
Gary stares at Death. Death stares at Gary.
What's the matter, Death? Come on.
Or do you want to go back? So that you can kiss that ogre?
What?
I know the last thing you tried to do was kiss an ogre. I'm Death. I know everything. I see everything.
Oh, well, no, you don't understand. That was I don't know what came over me. I think it was a curse.
A curse, was it, Gary? A bloody curse. Trying to kiss an ogre. Oh, no. No special favors from me. No. You're in the doghouse.
Oh, come on, it's a curse. You wiped out all the other curses, me nose and me arms and shite like that. I mean, there was something going on with the water, I think, as well. Me water pack was going all like...
Shut up, Gary. Okay? Your last living act was to try and kiss an ogre, and then you come over here and try and pretend that wasn't the last thing you were trying to do. Not on my watch. Okay?
Death throws a pillow to Gary. It lands on the ground in front of him.
You can sleep by the fire, quite frankly.
Let's see if this final wheel spin can do anything to save Gary. my god. Dude, that was it. Dude, that was it. That was about to be it. How have you done this? I mean, I guess what do you want to happen? What do you want to happen? Gary loses all his curses and starts over as simple Gary did, plus the ogre dies. Death forgives us and accepts a love triangle. Become the avatar of death. He unwild shapes into Gary and explodes in the stomach. The pillow becomes ergonomic. Death materializes the ogre so Gary can kiss him. Death resurrects us and smites the ogre in jealousy. Marry Death. The choice is yours. You just want to marry Death? A thing comes up on the screen that says 6 months later. We see Death walking down the aisle. On one side is absolutely everyone who has ever fucking died in the history of Rexunder. And on the other side is Seg, Smasher, Seg in a tux, holding a ring, Smasher, Sting, Barry, Rindor, Kravuzal, the Cool Orcs, the Furries, Nanoki, the bird creature, the Trolls, the Bullywugs, the Lizard Folk. And they're all crying, you know. I need to loop the wedding march. Solid Snake's there for no reason as well. The ogre in a tux. And we see Death being walked down the aisle. I wonder if I can get Mid-Journey. Death. Grim Reaper in a wedding dress. Walking down the aisle, Gary crying in a tuxedo, turns around. Smasher's a paladin, right? Which means Smasher can officiate this wedding. The Smasher is there in a full set of priest vestments. And she says, the wedding pun. She says,
The couple hired a vegetarian DJ so he could turnip the beats. For butter or worse, a toast to the newlyweds.
honestly, this image is metal as fuck, dude. Dude, look at this. Dude, I want it tattooed on me, bro. That's the most metal image I've ever seen, dude. I hope this was worth the fucking Deus Ex, because for me it was. Death walks up. Gary turns to Death. And Smasher says, "All those who are gathered here today." And it comes up on the screen. The word F-I-N. Finn. Shut up. Guys, you died. You died, guys. What a story. I'm kind of proud of you for not resurrecting and just defeating the ogre and deciding to marry Death at the end, if I'm honest. An interesting story. We started out in the swamps, and this was how long has this campaign been going? It's weird how this worked out. The beginning of the campaign was completely procedurally generated. I thought we'd do this for 2 weeks. I didn't know how long this campaign was going to last, but I did not think it was. I thought it was going to be 2 weeks. Legitimately, I thought we'd do it for 2 weeks. Completely procedurally generated a world together. Created this entire story, which is absolutely completely different to every story I've ever run, even though we randomly generated it. And I have completely undone myself as a writer for all time. And began this story with Gary, this gnome druid, who decided to travel through the swamp, gathered together. I mean, the swamp arc was great. Gathered together everyone. He fixed his home, at least. The swamp part of the forest now belongs to the people of the swamp. So that was quite nice. Uniting the swamp together. Rambo, Seg. And then journeying out into the desert and moving through the desert. Honestly, I really enjoyed DMing just like where will they go next, and not knowing at all what you were going to do, and then like just inventing it on the spot. Two different dungeons. You died in one of them, but 2 different dungeons. All these random things. It was actually pretty fun, man. It was a pretty good campaign. We freed the pirates. We found Smasher. We invented all these different bosses. We had like some long-term stuff going on, but that's D&D, baby. The clutch stuff Honestly, some of the clutch things that happened on the wheel spin are insane. The wheel spin stuff was insane. The clutch moments. And this ended up being really fucking fun, man. This ended up being really fun. All of the different things that we did. Here's all the stuff. The different tokens that we created for the different things. The world map. We never made it to the Kosu Serenity, the last forest, but we did see all these places. That's how you made it about halfway. The Hutchton Matriarchy. The swamp. The fight with Rindor. It was good, man. This was a good campaign. Honestly. This was a legit good campaign. You know, you'd expect it to be just dog shit or like, yeah, it was fine. But I would go so far as to say this was fucking good. Really fun. Ended up being really fun to play as well. It's kept me afloat for the last few months, especially during this sickness as well. For 3 months I've been very unwell. And running this, I dragged myself to the computer a couple of times during this to run this. And even though I felt really unwell during some of them, I still had fun. So I'm sort of glad I forced myself to do it. But on top of that, I'm glad I did it because the wheel spins have kept me afloat. I've been able to pay rent because I haven't been able to stream much. And even the streams I've done have been very short, you know. So this has actually done a lot to keep not only my anxiety at bay, but genuinely money in the bank enough for me to pay rent and shit, and pay for all of the. I've had to pay so many medicine. I buy a fucking. It's like £13 every time I have to go and buy a week. I spend two. It doesn't matter. This has kept me afloat, and I appreciate everyone for playing it, you know, because it's been so legit to run. I think we should do another campaign. What do you think? I'm more than happy to continue doing this. Or are you done? You want to be done with D&D? I can long it off. We'll find some other way to make money. We'll play fucking World of Warcraft and do a death-a-thon or whatever the fuck it is that Orcish does every week. Alternatively, I actually enjoy running this, and I'm very happy to run another campaign and we start up another one. I think there are some things going into a second campaign that I would do slightly differently. We'll set up a whole new set of things for the wheel spin. We'll set up a whole new everything, dude. A new world. For sure, you have to just be a fighter. I think the only way to simplify, we have to simplify combat. I had to summon you up out some way. And how many gift subs to secretly do Miss Light 2? You just get real Miss Light 2 soon. Just hold on, you get the actual Miss Light 2 is on its way. It's in production. So just shut the fuck up and be patient. Yeah, I think we do a whole new campaign, but we do a melee class. I think maybe we just go for like a sword and board fighter. And then we can keep it very simple. I think it's going to be easier if we just do the no spell casting at all. I considered some of the other stuff, but a monk wouldn't be fun. This is the thing. It needs to just be the most simple thing, because combat has to be simplified in some way. So I think a bit like what we did with Seg, where we very much simplified a fighter down to an action surge and a couple of things on a bonus action. I think that's the best approach. Trying to streamline the combat so that 100 people can play one character, I think is important, so that you've got, because I want more for you guys to do. I think for me, the least fun I was having was when it was on auto battle. Not that I wasn't having fun exactly, but I like it when you you guys get to do something. You know, it's Twitch plays D&D, not me. I could play D&D by myself. If I'm just running, I've run 1 billion of these. I've run 1 million combats for people. I don't want to run it for me. I want to run it for you. I want you guys to be able to interact in this, not just with money. You know, there's a lot of people in here, and I appreciate everyone that is spinning the wheel and giving me subs. But there's other people that I want to be able to play this as well. And so I think it's fun when we get to do the dice rolling. And I think the only way to really get you to be able to do more on your turn is to simplify the combat down, because it's so difficult to get so many spells on the screen. Once you get too many spells. And some people don't know what they're doing. People who have never played D&D before are going to just be so confused when they see all these spells and what they can do and all that kind of stuff. I think that... But anyone understands that you have a sword and you can swing it. So I think that's the best way to go about it. So I think that the class should be locked, but everything else will randomize or vote for or do something. I guess we'll come up with something for next week. We'll start a new campaign. The ending to this is amazing, by the way. He married death. And you can say you were in this campaign. You played in it. You played in a campaign once where you played as a gnome druid who was destined to save the world and ultimately didn't. Safe in the knowledge that probably Saber went on to rule the world and probably brought back the rain, probably brought back greenery to the world. No longer are they living in Mad Max, but probably Saber rules in some sort of demonic and evil way over this idyllic landscape. So it's an interesting set of questions to think about. But I love the idea that this just, Gary died and married death in the end. I think it's a cool thing. We got this fucking artwork. Yeah, that's good as well. But that is the most metal shit I've ever seen in my life. That is so dope. I kind of want to get a tattoo of something like that. It doesn't make any sense that I would get a tattoo of Grim Reaper in a wedding dress, but I would. It just looks so sick. Yeah, so I think that's what we'll do. We'll lock the. I'll think this week on ways to simplify the combat. There were some suggestions on the wheel spin. I was going to wait till you got out of the dungeon to sort of add the suggestions to the wheel spin. Randomly summon an eidolon is very cool. I think that I want to add that. You do a summon. I feel like it needs to be like, not that a thing fights next to you, but it does. You know, like in Final Fantasies when you just summon and it just does a flat amount of damage. So I think doing something like that works well for the thing. Can we add a potion of wheel spin to the spin so we can delay the spin? No. No, that's just annoying. It's just another item. You had so many items. We have to figure out a way. I think that some of them I want to change to like potion. The effects happen immediately. I don't think you need normal items. We can just take normal shit out. What do you think? I don't think we need XP. I think we can take that XP out. I think maybe removing some of the condition stuff. I don't think the resistance is necessary. I wish that there was a way to put that in, but it didn't really. The odds of it coming in clutch are so minuscule that it's not really too worth it. But yeah, auto use or something like that makes sense. Maybe, I mean, here's the thing. I think one of the rules of this next character is that they need to have a high charisma. Don't they? We have to give them charisma so that you can do more roleplay. So maybe having different items will come in with the roleplay aspect. Yeah, I would like to find ways to streamline the process. If you just have a huge amount of items, it's fine when you're a normal player and you're looking at your character sheet for 2-3 hours a session, and you're looking at the, you know, the stuff that you can use and you've got. But when you're sort of like, when I'm just bringing this stuff up on the screen and you've got like an image to look at, it's hard to think quickly enough to be able to get it into the game, I think. So that's what I mean. I want to streamline it because you only have a certain amount of time to think about what you want to do, write it in the chat, and then it gets selected randomly by me, and then it goes up on a vote. So anything that I can do to streamline that, I think is necessary. That's what I'd like to do. Aquasnakes, what's up, my friend? Thank you for the 7 months. Ben Canobio and Octavian, thank you for the resubs here. Now, what the fuck has Jaeger been screaming at me about the entire thing? I'm busy, Jaeger. I appreciate you giving me money here, but I'm doing a thing. What does he want me to look at? He's been going nuts at me this whole time to look at something in the Discord. I don't know what it is or where he's put it or what he wants. What does he want from me? Can someone translate Jaeger? He's like banging on about something he's posted in the thing. Is it this? I don't know what this means or why you wanted me to look at it. But ladies and gentlemen, Jaeger. I'm going to save this image of Gary. You never know. We might need this stuff in the future. Frog Gary. I'm definitely saving this image of Grim Reaper Death Wedding. Literally summoning a demon in real life. Summoning a demon in real life. Okay, so we'll get into it next week then. We'll sit and we'll get into the weeds of Twitch Plays D&D Season 2. What was this one? This was episode 15, 16. And you died, but it was a happy ending. This was 16. 16 episodes. Season 1, episode 16 is how far you made it. And now I'm going to make a little thing here that will be season 2. The good perma, yeah. Gary makes Stanley appearances in other campaigns for sure, yeah. Wait till the real Gary finds out. We're going to have to pull out Morgan Freeman again for a new intro. I really enjoy whatever this is. Even the olds get to laugh. Yeah, I love this. I've really enjoyed running this this campaign. I'm glad that you guys are up for doing another one, and I think we'll get it started next week. There's no point in doing it now. All right. Well, I think we're done here. Congratulations, everyone. You completed a D&D campaign. You died, but you completed the campaign. This was extremely fun. Thank you, everyone that supported the channel throughout this campaign. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was worth the money. I know that today you did a lot of wheel spins that were completely wasted. Just absolutely down the drain with the cold hard cash from the chat room. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're done. I think this is it. New Roll20, new campaign next week. What a way to die. Cursed by the spell wind, turned into a frog, and eaten by a demonic ogre. The whole time I was like, if he ends up dying from this, I kind of really thought that you'd get out of it, honestly. I know you were all like, oh, he's going to try and kill him because he wants to do a new campaign. But I was like pretty convinced. You've gotten out of so much shit. To be honest with you, you could have got out of it because you did get that Deus Ex Machina at the end. But I was like, they're going to get out of it because they get out of everything. I truly believed this was going to the end, this campaign. But I was like, if they get out of this and they go and see Death, Death is going to be so pissed off with Gary because he died trying to kiss someone else. Dude, you know Gary had to propose to make it up to Death. He had to do that thing of like, no, you don't understand. I love you. Let's get married. She was like, no, you get out. I never want to see your hair. I never want to see your disgusting pink-eyed, tape-your-nose, six-armed face again, Gary. I hate you. And he went, let's get married. And she went, what? You know it. That's exactly what happened in that time. What an ending. Incredible. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. 16 episodes in. Twitch Plays D&D. Campaign 1 down. Onwards to Campaign 2. See you next Sunday for it. This has been The Legend of Gary.
In the last little forest, untamed and left wild, there lives a small person, but he's not a child. A leader of men, a leader of more. He's listening now, Gabe, he's ready for war. A powerful druid, but he cannot fly. He's in love with death, but he cannot die. His name is Gary, and this is his story. His name is Gary, revel in his glory. It's Gary, but no more he can. It's Gary, fuck yeah, moo a dick. His name is Gary, and this is his story. His name is Gary, revel in his glory. It's Gary, but no more he can. It's Gary, fuck yeah, moo a dick. His name is Gary, and this is his story. His name is Gary, revel in his glory. It's Gary, but no more he can. It's Gary, fuck yeah, moo a dick. It's Gary, like no more he can. It's Gary, fuck yeah, moo a dick.